Hey, how's it going? This is Unlucky, and I'm here with my good friend DJ Segue,
Hello?
and we will be discussing the Ubisoft press conference today at E3. So, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good conference. How about you?
It was a really interesting conference. We got to see a lot of games that are coming out within the next year or so, and especially some of the games that a lot of people have been looking forward to.
Yeah, I know for me, I was pretty excited on the Assassin's Creed game and the Far Cry game that they announced.
Yeah, I gotta agree as well because the Assassin's Creed 3, like, we know a lot about it. We saw like leaked screenshots, we saw a few gameplay videos. However, seeing the full on scale of the protagonist actually going into action against the I think the British, or I can't think of it right now. I'm like spaced
The
off.
Redcoats, yeah, and the Templars.
Yeah, and it was really interesting seeing how like the guy was trying to be sneaky with him. However, like once they noticed him, he basically gave them the finger and just went straight for his target.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty badass. And the trailer they showed before the gameplay video, I thought was pretty cool. The how the British officer actually turned out to be a Templar. I
Yes.
thought, the whole video, I just thought he was trying to go take out the officer, and it turns out that that guy's the actual bad guy. Um,
Yeah, that was something that was very interesting. I didn't really expect, but it was really good how they integrated it.
yeah, and off of the gameplay, everything looks smooth. How you jump from the trees, you fight animals as well as people. I know in the conference they said that you're gonna fight more than just animals and the British. So it sounds like you may even fight some American colonists. I
Maybe.
doubt they would be revolutionary colonists. Like I don't think you're gonna go fight George Washington or anyone. But I do have a slight feeling that you might actually end up fighting some Americans as well. Maybe not
Yeah,
in large
yeah,
scale.
yeah, you never know. Like, there's always that possibility that something could happen. Not all the colonists were actually very supportive of the Revolutionary War, anyways. So it was maybe they're gonna like try to step in. But the thing that kind of caught me off guard, I'm sorry to like go off a little subject about it, but is I didn't expect that the protagonist was actually gonna be fully like agreeing with the Americans and supporting them. I figured he was just gonna be somebody that was like neutral and he was just doing his thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a little fuzzy. I mean, I don't think they've actually come out and said we that he fully supports them. But based off of the trailer, it definitely looked that way. I mean, he charged in there, he started killing redcoats like nothing. He really seemed to be on the American side. So, yeah, who knows? I mean, we really got to wait for more info, but that game definitely did catch my attention, and it looks great.
Yeah, the graphics are very beautiful on that, especially like the thing I didn't really pay attention to. However, I was really trying to was the when they showed the Americans walking through the snow. I was wondering if it was showing the trail behind them, like the deep snow that they were like passing through. I wondered if it showed it, but I didn't. I couldn't get a good enough look.
Yeah, yeah, I'd have to go back and review the film for that. I actually don't have it in front of me, but yeah, I like how it did have that. When you're in deep snow, you were trudging through you. It's not like you were running through it,
Yep.
and I like it when games add details like that. It makes it feel a little more realistic, which I thought
Yep.
was great. But yeah, Assassin's Creed, it looks great. A lot more to come from that game. I'm sure they'll cover a lot more during E3. But
Yeah. The
there's,
E3 is just only begun.
yep. And there's a lot of other big games they covered at Ubisoft, so we should probably move on to those. Another big one that really, really got me excited was Far Cry. They announced Far Cry 3 last year, and they had one of the best trailers I've ever seen with it. It had some crazy guy, I think his name is Voss, talking about the definition of insanity, and that trailer just gave me shivers. And anyways, today when they showed what they had, they definitely started off with a attention grabber. I guess in the video you wake up and there's a woman on you, uh, shirtless, and man, I gotta say that was pretty interesting. But then he started talking, like, oh, we're gonna kill Voss and get him off our island, yada yada yada. You were with a bunch of Indian-looking people, like Pacific Islanders, and yeah, this game looks great. They go straight into the gameplay. I guess you go to one of Voss's camps, and he had a trap set up for you, and the whole vibe of the trap and everything in the camp came off as very insane-ish. It definitely gives you a feeling that this guy that you're trying to hunt, he's got some mental problems. There's a lot of TV set up all over the place, flashing like "fuck you" and stuff like that, and it really gave a good vibe of the guy you're dealing with is just nuts. Lots of action. I saw some action with a bow and arrow, which was pretty badass. You come out into camp, you start shooting people with the assault rifle, and there were tigers in the camp. I don't know if you saw that.
Actually, I didn't. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, after you come out of the trap and you start fighting your way through the camp, these tigers come out of nowhere and start attacking you and attacking the bad guys, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I guess in the game there's going to be lots of wildlife that'll interact with both you and the enemy.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, it was a surprise. It had me, I had to double check it, but yeah, it was weird. Then you fought some crazy guy with a flamethrower. You go and find Voss, but he stabs you with some poison or something because you start hallucinating. But yeah, it looked like a solid game altogether. The graphics were just stunning. They said that you get a whole group of islands you can go to. It's not just one or two. I mean, it's like tons of islands that you can go to. Big, wide. You can explore anything. You don't have to just, go from point A to point B like most games do. And that's what something the Far Cry franchise is very famous for. They like to give you a lot of choice and direction, and it looks great.
Yeah, there was it was either the Sony press conference or it was Ubisoft or whatever, but they mentioned about the co-op that's in it, and I thought that was very interesting.
Oh, and Far Cry?
Yeah, the it's actually four-player co-op, and they were saying that you're actually going to be wanting to work really well together. And they gave the example where they were trying to take over a bridge and blow it up. And if this was in the Sony one, I'm sure we're going to hear about it when the Sony recap is released later on. But it's about Far Cry, and it was very phenomenal how they were communicating and all that stuff. And like you'd have one person carrying the box of explosives, everybody else is defending them. Um, it is phenomenal, and I was very surprised. Like I haven't played Far Cry since Far Cry 1. I never tried number 2. I probably should. And number 3 is definitely was an eye catcher, and I'm really tempted to go ahead and either go ahead and find it from somebody and rent it off, borrow it off of them, or whatever. But it's definitely not one that I'm going to pass up on in any kind of case.
I completely agree with you. It looks like one of the better games Ubisoft is dropping this year. As far as other good games, they showed a little bit on the new Splinter Cell, which would look great. I don't know about you. I didn't play the last one, Conviction.
Neither did I.
Okay. So, anyways, but it looked great. It looked to have the pretty much the same play style as the last one. I'm sure that they've fine-tuned any little bugs or issues they had with it. Uh, it looks great, and I like the whole story. I guess there's a blacklist of terrorists that hate the U.S. and you're taking them all out or something along those lines, and it looks fantastic. I saw a lot of gameplay where he's doing these execution moves. It reminded me of a more futuristic Assassin's Creed, which is what I always compared it to. Well,
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed came out after the Splinter Cell, but anyways, they both seem very similar, and it definitely looks like I like the direction they're taking with it. The new Splinter Cell looks fantastic.
The thing I was really what I really like, and for one, like I'm a big Xbox person, I'm not a PS3 person, and the thing that I really enjoy though is that during the Microsoft convention, well not convention, the conference, they actually showed the integration with the Kinect for it, and the deal that they showed was that like you'd have Sam just like hanging on from the side of the roof, and there's a guy that's right in front of him, above him, and you would say to the Kinect, "Hey, over here." The guy would actually turn and walk to you, not knowing you're there, and then you could perform the execution. So that was really cool how they actually integrated that into it to where, like, what you say, they actually hear and they do respond.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool too. I saw that. Ubisoft, they're really. I like their whole philosophy on new technology. They really seem to grasp whenever the gaming industry comes out with something new. They really want to pick it up and use it. I remember for last E3, they were showing off Ghost Recon Future Soldier, and they were showing the gunsmith, how you can work the whole gunsmith with your hands, and that blew my mind. I mean, the gunsmith alone was pretty cool, but being able to do it with your Kinect, that just made it twice as good.
I just wish that the Kinect was more integrated into the game itself, but it's still like it's really neat what they're trying to do with the Kinect. I don't know what they're trying to do with the the PlayStation Move. I didn't really get to see an opportunity for that. However, I'm sure they're not going to leave those guys out of the dark. They're going to do something for them.
Yeah, I think so too. Ubisoft definitely does try to use whatever tools they have at their disposal. So I'd be interested to see what they use from that, especially the Wii. I know they have a lot of Wii U stuff lined up as well that we can get into in a little bit. But yeah, I definitely like what Ubisoft has to offer its consumers. Um, and then I believe the last and newest thing to cover as far as the big hits go is this new game called Watchdog that they premiered at the end of their press conference. I know you just looked it up, but this is a brand new IP from Ubisoft. I believe it's from Ubisoft Montreal, and it looks fantastic. I mean, I was sitting there with my eyes wide and jaw dropped the entire time. I really wanted to get my hands on it.
Yeah, it was. The thing is, was like right when it started, I watched the gameplay and how it started. Though I was thinking it was like, oh, it's gonna be a cheap knockoff of Grand Theft Auto or something like that because of how the guy was walking. And then all of a sudden, when he went and lined up by the building, and he aimed at the guy, and then he chose like disable and knocked out all the electronics within that area, and he snuck inside. I thought that was great, just even that part. And that was only like maybe a minute into it, and it was 11-minute video. And but like later in the video, like seeing that you can hack street lights or whatever, turning from red lights to green lights and all that stuff. Like I can already see people posting videos like really fucking up with traffic,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's just
troll
gonna be great.
videos, just like making big car accidents and everything. I can totally see people doing that.
It's just whether if it's gonna be an open world. Like if you're able to actually just free roam before you can do the mission, or whatever. Oh, I can see it easily. But if you're stuck just doing the campaign and the storyline, it might be hard. But I'm sure people will find ways to do it.
Oh yeah, they'll do it and they'll have a lot of laughs off of it too. I noticed while he was in the bar or the art show, whatever it was, and he was looking from person to person trying to find the employee, and it would give like a short little description of each person's past. Like I think it said one person was convicted of shoplifting or something along those lines. I can't remember, but it gave short little descriptions of everyone, and I'm sure it does that to every single person in the game. Um, and I'm sure with this new IP, they have a ton of really fresh and amazing ideas to use as far as the whole electronics go. It seems like they're taking a really electronics espionage kind of feel to it. Like you can really hack everything and change anything that's electronic based. You know, cell phones, laptops, TVs, anything along those lines. And this new IP looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those that I'm gonna want to hear a little bit more about it further down the road. However, this is definitely it has an eye on my wallet right now.
I agree. I'm definitely going to keep a close eye on this game.
And
So,
let alone seeing that they actually updated it, saying that the it will be on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC was a great discovery to find out too. Because I don't want to find out that it's only for one, and if I really want the game, I have to go buy that thing just for that. And like the game looks good, but I don't think it'd be worthy of going out and spending like $500.
yeah. Yeah, that definitely put a smile on my face knowing it's coming to Xbox, because as people come to know, I'm not a big PC gamer. I really just have an Xbox, and that's about it. So all I really play on my PC is Minesweeper. So, yeah, so those are the four big games off the Ubisoft conference. I definitely look forward to a lot of it. Um, as we were saying before, Ubisoft, they really try to use every tool at their disposal as far as the you know the game industry coming out with new innovative things. Like I know the Wii U should be coming out later this year,
Oh yeah.
and they just threw a ton of titles up at the screen. They couldn't even showcase all of them, but I know some names I actually managed to pick up is Sports Connection, Skid to Victory, Just Dance 4, the Avengers Battle for Earth game, some type of Assassin's Creed 3 game. So I don't know if these will be like the Just Dance or Assassin's Creed. I don't know if they're going to be the full on games that they will be for Xbox or PlayStation. But those are definitely names that people will buy. I mean, people will buy those games just for the name. And plus, also, I guess those games do have a name to live up to. So they're not going to just churn out some crappy game for it, even if it
Well,
is on the Wii U. I don't know too much about the Wii U yet, but Ubisoft definitely seems to want to put something out for it.
the thing is that the like you were saying about Assassin's Creed going to the Wii U, I guess. But I actually didn't catch that at all. But the Assassin's Creed, like it's going to the Assassin's Creed 3, I guess, is going to the Vita. However, it's going to be a different game. I think it's Assassin's Creed Liberation. I think I'm not sure. It's going to be a little bit of a different story to it. However, it's not completely different. Like I don't know. There's not much about it. It was just that they announced that Assassin's Creed will be going to the Vita and it had a different title. So it's going to mobile devices. Whether it's going to the Wii U, I'm not quite sure about. However, if it does, I might be interested because I have my eyes on that Wii U.
All right. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't been a big Nintendo fan for quite a while, but they do definitely, put out what people want. The Wii made a ton of money. I mean, they sold basically two Wii's for every Xbox, I think,
Yep.
in total. I mean, it was just ridiculous the amount of sales they had because they didn't just market it to kids; they also marketed it to older people, people that haven't gamed since the age of Donkey Kong, and I think that's why a lot of people bought it. So that definitely
Well,
looks
everybody also
interesting.
wanted Mario
Oh
Kart.
yeah, of course, everyone's got to have that game. That's a lot of fun. I remember, yeah, I remember back on N64, I couldn't put that game down. Just
I
days and
still have
days.
it.
Yeah, so do I actually. But as far as other titles go, they announced a new Rayman game that looked pretty good. I'm not a big Rayman fan, but I do know the last Rayman game they released got some awards for platforming. This one seemed to play very smoothly. A lot of action going on the screen to keep the gamer into it, and interested. I don't know. Did you see anything about that?
I might have like went and used the bathroom at that time. I'm not sure. Because I've actually never really heard I've heard about Rayman. It's just I've never played it. I never really understood it, so I really can't put a judgment about it. But it's probably one of those that I'll probably go look up shortly after this in order to try to figure that out.
All right. Well, yeah, this one is called Rayman Legends. I didn't get a release date for it. I don't know if they announced it or not. Maybe I just missed it, but it looked good as far as platformers go. I definitely expect that game to make a lot of money, make a lot of sales. They also did announce a new zombie game, which I swear looked just like the Walking Dead games that have been coming out. But this one is actually just called Zombie U. Zombie spelled Zombi. So no E at the end. But it looked good. They didn't show any gameplay, just one really long, pretty cool trailer with a lot of still shots. Of lots of blood and gore and zombies killing people. Uh,
And we all love that.
oh yeah, and especially it's gonna be on the Wii U. That's what it looks like, anyways. And so it's good to see more mature games going that direction. It definitely looked like it was gonna take place in Britain or England or what have you. They showed multiple images. One of the soldiers in the red suit with a tall black hat, double decker buses, Big Ben. So I guess they're setting it off on the other side of the pond, as they would say. They
Which
short.
isn't bad.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's completely fine. Just because we're Americans doesn't mean we have to have everything about us. So, uh, They also did mention a new Marvel Avengers game, Battle for Earth. They didn't show any gameplay either, just a short trailer, but the trailer looked cool. It looked kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom, but all Marvel. Looks pretty cool. A lot of Marvel characters in there duking it out, and then some catastrophe behind them. They all stop fighting and turn around to stare at it, and then boom, the name comes up. But it looked interesting. You know, I'm a big Marvel fan. I like Spider-Man and Wolverine just as much as the next guy, so that one will probably be good. And I believe the last thing I have on my list, anyways, would be Just Dance 4. I guess that's the competitor for Harmonix's Dance Central, which I believe there's 3 Dance Centrals out. But Just Dance 4, I know they had Flow Rider, a lot of beautiful women dancing around them on the stage. It looks good. I didn't see too much gameplay on it, but I mean, I do know the Just Dance franchise has been making a lot of sales. Definitely a popular dancing game.
Yeah, it's Just Dance 4, Dance Central, all of those, like they've been making a lot of money throughout the years. Like you were saying, like they, I think you said Flow Rider, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that whole deal that they did was good to watch. Like several attractive women that were there. But I think something that would have been really funny though is if they had some like fat ass doing it. I think that would have been something like really great, like bring out some laughs or something like that. And
Yeah.
I really hope they do it like next year or something because I think like everyone's expecting the hot girls to come out there, but nobody would expect some fat ass like trying to dance and all that stuff. I think it would be like the funniest thing ever.
I agree with you. Actually, if E3 was to pull a stunt like that, I don't care what dancing game it is. Hell, even if it's a brand new dancing game that no one's heard of yet, that'd be the funniest thing, and I'm sure they get a lot of sales, or at the very least, a lot of interest just off of any publicity stunt like that they would pull.
You just
Um,
want to talk about immediate YouTube sensation right there, though.
yeah, you get some like fat kid out in a come out in a Star Wars T-shirt, just start dancing his heart out, man. That'd become viral instantly.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it for the Ubisoft press conference. You know, there's the big games, Splinter Cell, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, the new one or new ones. You know, Zombie U, Watch Dogs, etc., and some old classics returning, Just Dance and Rayman, etc. It all looks like a good year in the Ubisoft department.
Yep.
All right. So, I guess that's it for me, Unlucky, and my good friend DJ Segue.
Yep.
So, thanks for listening, and everybody, we're out.